Namaskar, welcome. This is a very special live from IT World Studio right now on Facebook as I face a few faces which are going to be judging the culinary skills of the aspiring chefs and all these celebrity chefs with very rich experience of serving, I would say, Indian culture in a very special and distinct way, are going to be participating in the VARLI Cook Off, which is happening on 9th January. And ITV Gold and Parik Worldwide Media are also media partners with this special event that serves our community in multiple ways. I take this opportunity of welcoming all these three esteemed panelists for the show and chef as well as restaurateur in their own right. I have K and Vinodji with me. Vinodji, namaste, welcome. We have and Vinodji brings a very rich experience of having started and successfully served many people through his restaurants. That includes Indic Heights and Rasa, as well as this interest has moved on to the next generation in his life with Bombay Distro and whatnot. We also have the pleasure of welcoming Prasad Chirnomulaji. Prasadji, namaste, welcome.
Namaskar.
While Vinodji is joining me from Washington, D.C., Prasadji is sitting in Connecticut, and how he connects with the Indian cuisine and how a creative element is there in helping people appreciate this. We'll learn from him. And also very prominent restaurateur, Vishal Bakshi is also joining us. Namaste, Vishalji.
Namaskar, sir.
And with the three of you, I want to thank Varli Singh for envisioning this idea of helping build a bridge between restaurants and people who love Indian food as well as cooking. Whenever there is a competition, it adds special oomph to the whole scenario. And we will talk more about how this is conducted and what makes you excited about this Varli cook-off. Let me begin with Vinodji. You have been a part of this event over a period of years. Talk to me about what to expect if some of our viewers who wants to experience this Varli cook-off.
The first thing is I'd like to congratulate Varli for doing this. Basically, we have always been, I've been involved right from the beginning. When they said that they're going to promote Indian cuisine, it got us all excited, whether it is prasad or whether it is, you all agree with me, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the first thing which came. So you're showcasing Indian cuisine and trying to bring in by this competition, what they have, it's very well organized and very well done. So I think it's a fantastic platform to promote, to bring Indian food and how it can be promoted well.
Wonderful. And I'll come back to you. And as Thomas Keller once said, a recipe has no soul. You as a cook must bring soul to the recipe. So Prasadji, what do you make out of the soul of a recipe in the context of Indian food? And these aspiring future celebrity chefs, do you give them some tips as to what is it that is expected of them?
Well, again, first of all, thank you for having us on your TV. Thank you, Varliji. She's been a true, passionate personality, not only bringing the Indian cuisine on the map, but also putting all our chefs and people like us together in one place. And she's done some things what normally somebody couldn't have achieved that easily. I mean, for example, she got Sanjeev Kapoor involved, Vikas Khanna involved. She had many celebrity chefs of America involved. Many master chefs of India have come in. So that alone kind of excites me, saying that, oh my God, when I came back in the early days of 80s, I said, let's put Indian food on the map. When the French have done it, when the Americans have done it, we are nothing less. And let's do a great job putting our good food on a good plate. So for the inspiring chefs who are coming with us, we are excited about judging them because we see what's good on the plate. We don't see what's not good on the plate. If they cook with their hearts out, with their passion, and basically, as I always said, if you're a good eater, you definitely should be a good cook too. So if they have the passion for the food, if they have the passion for the ingredients, where they're coming from, and it's all about balancing. Once you hit something in your mouth, are you actually excited about that? Once the food is on the plate, are your eyes excited about it? So it's the plating, it's the vision of a person, what they're cooking. And we are simple cooks. I mean, I always said, food should be very simple, but it should be passionate. It should tingle your mouth. Once it's in your mouth, it should say like, wow, it tastes so good. So that's what I'm looking for,
Beautiful, very well put. And I think the way it is presented, different colors also appeals to the one who is going to consume it. And in addition to the chefs coming and sharing their cooking skills, this event also will have special food and dessert tasting by VARLI Ware, and there is a fundraiser also that is being hosted by Diya Singh, and 100% proceed from VARLI Ware is going to Cohen Children's Medical Center, Long Island. Vishal Bakshi ji, you have been a great supporter and pillar of backbone to VARLI. There is this inbuilt flow of giving back to the community, which I think we bring from India with us. Some manifest it more, some less. But talk to me about what is it that got you excited in supporting VARLI Cook Off events?
Thank you for having us here, and coming to VARLI and the initiatives that she has taken over the years. I think I guess all the panelists that are here today, I think all of us have been kind of involved with her right from day one, when she kind of envisioned, this scenario where you try to put the Indian food on the American circuit. We all have been in different places doing different things, but then this was a common platform for everybody to get together. We all see how Chinese food has developed, how Thai food has developed. Indian food, unfortunately, did not get its due recognition in the United States in terms of cutting across, different cultures and societies. And I think this was a wonderful platform where, people could get together, put a plan through as to, what could take this Indian cuisine forward. And, Chef Vinod is there, Chef Prasad is here, and they are, pioneers in their field. And I think VARLI took this initiative to put the whole team together. And for me personally, it was, we all come from a food background back in India, right? So I think all of us share that same background. And the idea was to see how can we, take this more globally. It's if you go to the UK, Indian food is a lot more prominent out there, but not so much as in the United States. And that was the reason I think that these kind of initiatives, do help out to promote our cuisine. And through our cuisine, we are promoting our culture, our heritage, we talked about the soul of the food. And it was something not done by anyone before. I think this was a wonderful opportunity. If we kind of get together, I'm sure we can take this to the next level where, you can see more Indian restaurants, more pockets of Indian food. And I'm glad that VARLI took this initiative and put us all together to kind of take this to the next step. But we're looking forward to the showcase here on January 9th, and this is going to be at the Martinsville Gardens here in New Jersey. And we're going to see all these budding chefs. everyone has a chef inside them, right? It's how you explore yourself. We start young, right? Starting making eggs at home, starting making, sandwiches at home, and then you grow it. So then you see the likes of, Chef Prasad and Chef Vinod, and I'm sure they'll be wanting to follow and become budding chefs. So we're looking forward to judging all these people soon.
Very, very nice. So let me quote, which is not the right place to quote this, but they say, do not judge people. If you judge, when will you have the time to love? But that is not applicable here. Here it is with love that you are judging. And with love, when we look at the contribution of Chef K.N. Vinodji, he is written about for his culinary skills in magazines like Washington Post, Washingtonian, the New York Times, India Abroad, Style Magazine, and Jagat, among others. He has also served foreign dignitaries, presidents, and celebrities. Now, serving anyone and making them happy with the taste that is offered through your cooking is very, very important. Let me also recollect with you, when we say the flow of culture, it is dependent on three ba, if I say in Hindi, bhasha, bhesh, and bhojan. So language, of course, we are speaking English. Bhesh, we do not practice the same attire, but bhojan somewhere has stayed with us. From that point of view also, Vinodji, there is a sense of fusion. So when you serve presidents or celebrities, do you see a sense of fusion in the cooking style that is adopted here in America?
Okay, fusion is a word which is very often misinterpreted. I mean, it's got a wrong this thing about it. Basically, people think of fusion as mixing two cuisines and things like that. And they always say this fusion causes confusion. My advice to youngsters who want to cook and things like that is basically stick to your basic principle. First is your foundation of your cooking. The basic principles of cooking is there. Then you can use your local ingredients. You can adapt to whatever you need. But if your foundation is not strong, where the basic principles of cooking are not there, then you have a problem. So that is the most essential thing that I would tell youngsters to think. Learn your foundation. If it's a French technique, good. And then other advice I would think is, as we progress with technology and things like that, I would encourage youngsters to change, adapt to new things. If it's a sous vide, okay, pick it up. If they're using combi ovens, come on, you can use that. You don't have to stick to those old ancient methods of cooking. So you can take your cuisine to a different level. You can compete with all this French and whatever top chefs are there. That's one piece of advice.
I think that's a very important advice. And with that advice, when you mention about bringing something new, Chef Prasadji, who is featured in the New York Times, and they say that his cuisine is unusual, exciting, and so varied that I am never bored. And the Rosengarten report called him the most exciting Indian chef in the United States. So, Prasadji, share your secret. What makes you the most exciting chef as perceived by some people? And with that experience, the advice for those who are participating in this competition at VARLI Cook Off on 9 January at Martinsville, which will be between 12 to 4 p.m. on Sunday, January 9th. Do you have like a sequence, one dish and maybe one dessert and things like that, or how it is laid out?
Well, first of all, I did not know that I was going to be, called an exciting, most exciting chef in America. I'm sure there are a lot of great chefs, and some of us get lucky that we get noticed. And as I said, like one of the things when I, came into the scene of the cooking scene in America, there were not enough passionate people. I mean, that's what was lacking. I'm actually a front of the house guy. I like hospitality. I like people in general. I like to eat. And I'm a big family guy. I love my mom's cooking. So looking at all that, and I love media. Why do I like media? Because I like to showcase our cuisine to the rest of the world. And I thank the media for, bringing, whether it's you today, for example, took time to share our experience with you. whether it's New York Times, whether it's Michelin magazines, whether it's David Rosengarten, who was writing his national newspapers. I thank everybody for recognizing as one of the best chefs, in America. So what made me successful is what I want to see in other people. I had a very simple approach. Believe in what you do, be consistent in what you do, and create, as we know, Chef Vinod just gave us a good advice, the foundation has to be strong. Your basics have to be good. Your seasonings, for example, some of the many chefs are afraid of seasoning a dish properly. So food should be never boring. I mean, whether it's colorful, and also textures. I mean, once you touch with a fork, once you eat it in your mouth, put it in your mouth, the textures are so important. For example, let's talk about a simple dish like a medu vada, right? If medu vada has that nice crunch on the outside and soft like a pillow inside, but that itself is a winner to start. And if I give you a medu vada, which is soggy and cold, it could be the tastiest thing, but once it hits your mouth, you don't find the texture. You didn't find the color on that dish. So that could fail you. So you got to know what you're doing. I mean, cooking is not just an accident, it's a passion. I'm sure, it starts in the home, then it starts professionally, whether you go to college, whether you learn it by what you want. Like Anthony Bourdain, for example, he traveled the world learning the dishes from different parts of the world. So my advice to the youngsters or whoever is, we don't know who is cooking and we don't know who we're judging. What we are looking is basically a solid foundation, good textures, good colors. And one biggest advice I would say is like, taste the dish before you serve it to anybody else. And some people don't do that, So I like to eat my own food. You can see that in me, So once I prove it, then it must be good for you. So that's my biggest advice.
I think I like that advice. And Vishal, if we follow his advice and we go to the scene where you are actually performing the role of a judge, I'm just wondering, as a layman, after you have tasted one dish from a chef, and when you move to another one, how it is possible for you to distinguish from this taste to that taste? I mean, have you kind of trained your tongue to sort of disassociate from the previous taste, or it just worked naturally?
No, it's a natural process. I think as both the chefs have rightly said, you need to stick to your basics, right? And your foundation has to be right. And then it comes on to the taste, the flavor, the presentations, right? How much can you innovate on your cuisine? But again, as both of them have mentioned this, right? Your basics have to be right. So you can, work around your menu a little bit or your item a little, but your basics still have to be there, right? So that's the key thing. And how well can you innovate and still preserve your taste and the presentation side of it? That's critical too, in my opinion, because I think a lot of people out there, when you go to restaurants or other places or parties, you kind of first try to feast through your eyes, right? And then you say, okay, this looks good, let me go for it. But we are just using our combined experience of being in this food business to kind of analyze, and I'm sure all participants put in their best and what they will do out there. So unfortunately, you have to pick out a winner. So
yeah,
but I'm sure.
Yes, I sincerely appreciate your taking interest in this, as well as the presence of Prasadji and Vinodji, and I'm myself personally excited about VARLI Cook Off happening on Sunday, January 9th, 12 to 4 at Martinsville, New Jersey. In concluding a minute that we have, Vinodji, what is it that you learn from such events yourself, even though there is so much experience that you have, but something new that comes to you?
See, there is no end to learning. We learn at every stage. Whether you go to a new restaurant, every time you always pick up something new. So sometimes you pick up something new from a person who's competing, who's a much junior guy, was a trainee sometimes, always just a junior. So there's no end to learning, So we always pick up things from And the other thing of advice in promoting Indian cuisine, I always tell people is that it's not just the responsibility of the chefs and restaurateurs to promote Indian cuisine. We have such a wonderful cuisine. So our food is varied from north to south, east to west. Every 50 miles you go, things are different. Invite people to your thing, showcase your food, invite Americans, invite your friends, show them what we have. It's not that, when I came to this country in 85, the food, if you go to any restaurant, the menu is so predictable. You can close your eyes and you can say samosa, chicken tikka makhani, aloo gobi, bangan bharta. There's so much more.
So indeed, on that note, there's so much more. And while you meet Varli Singh, there is so much more in the personality of the lady who has brought Varli Cook Off for us, which is happening on 9th January, Sunday, 12 to 4 p.m. at Martinsville. And she was born with a commitment to sensationalize the cuisine she grew up loving, and to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to appreciate all that these foods have to offer. And that opportunity is becoming available for all of us here at Martinsville, as mentioned earlier. And it is indeed a privilege and a pleasure and a joy to be talking to K.N. Vinodji, Prasad Shirno Mulaji, and Vishal Bakshi ji.